Hello everybody. I am here to talk about my activity on Unpacking Standards Module 6. So, to begin with, I am taking the standard from the National Curriculum in England, the Mathematics Program of Study, which is the curriculum that we follow at the school I work at, the British School of Kampala, and the standard says read, write, order, and compare numbers to at least 1 million and determine the value of each digit. This standard is very similar or is pretty much the same as the Common Core standard. It says read and write multi-digit whole numbers using base 10 numerals, number names, and expanded form. Compare multi-digit numbers based on meanings of the digits in a place greater than and less than symbols to record the results of comparisons. So I chose this standard because it's multidimensional in the sense that it integrates the students' literacy skills of reading and writing. Also, reading and writing numbers is the basis for other math concepts. The children have a real life application of this concept. They're able to use it in their lives, like when they go shopping, to write out dates and so on. Also, kinesthetic, visual, and every kind of learner is able to be engaged in this standard because they're reading, they're writing, and using manipulatives so that they're not just doing one kind of activity. Like in the virtual classroom, the big idea is taken, and when we break it down into nouns, the nouns are number, value, digit, and the verbs include read, write, order, compare, and determine. So the big idea is that because the students will be using manipulatives like straws, building blocks, popsicle sticks, or any other kind of manipulative that they choose. It could even be able to draw one using graph paper. They will demonstrate different ways to compose and decompose a number within 1 million. Also, students will compare multi-digit numbers within 1 million and explain the value of the digits in each place. So here is the first activity that the students will be able to complete. I will start by modeling how to use manipulatives to represent each number, and then the students can complete this task, this worksheet that involves them writing numbers as numerals, also writing the numbers in words and ordering numbers. Another activity that the students will be able to do is to roll a die in order to generate different numbers with different digits. For example, they'll work usually in pairs and throw the dice up to 7 times and write down each number each time, and then read that number out and write it down, and they'll take turns doing this. Students will also have number cards that have varying values so that they can show these numbers using manipulatives and to explain why they're different. They'll also write down a number sentence that tells what they were observing and why these numbers are different. Another activity that they could do is order sets of phone numbers or number plates or populations of countries, and this should be a fun activity and get the children to do a little bit of research work. So in order to make sure that every student is included, differentiation for students who are EL, they will have dictionaries, or I will be able to explain words to them that they may not know or that they need to be reminded about. Students that are striving or developing this skill, I will ask them leading questions, and they will also have a color coded place value chart. And I'll ask the students that have mastered this skill to explain to them how they went about doing this activity. And then students that need an enrichment on their knowledge, they can complete an activity that requires them to research, for example, all the planets of the world and create a PowerPoint presentation ordering planets from the greatest to the least in distance from the Earth. The skills that will be enhanced through doing this activity is that students will be able to determine and understand that the position of a digit signifies its value rather, excuse me. Students will also know what each digit represents in a number up to 7 digits, including the use of 0 as a placeholder. And finally, they will understand the symbols for greater than, less than, less than. So for the formative assessment, I will be talking to the students while they complete this activity, asking them questions to make them understand why they choose certain values. For example, how they're presenting thousands and hundreds using the different manipulatives, and just make sure that everybody is on the right track with what is expected of them. And also, when they get most of the questions on their worksheet correct, then that will be a sign that they really do understand what is required of them to be able to complete this standard. And for the summative assessment, students will have to record what they learned in their math books or journals or on a poster. And they will have a rubric that helps them realize that their poster should include a drawing of the manipulatives, an explanation about how the two numbers are different, and students should also write a number sentence using the symbols of greater than, less than, and equal to. And finally, here is a list of the resources that I use to complete this activity. Thank you for watching my video.